Good morning, dear students. In today's class onwards, we will be discussing about some basic concepts of education. So, first unit, already in the previous session, we have discussed that it is a general education topics are coming under the unit 1. So, today we will start that unit 1, that is principles of education. So, education is a very familiar term for all of you, and we frequently use the term also for many purposes. So what is the meaning of education? What is the definition? So these are concepts we will be discussing in today's class. And as an introduction, let me say a person without education is really blind. So when we lose vision, we are not aware about what is happening in our surroundings. The same thing happens when you don't have education. Like a literate person, they may not be able to easily comprehend the surrounding changes. But when you have education, when you know the language's basic concepts, it will be easy for you to comprehend the surroundings. So that's why we say a person without education is really blind. And during my sessions, I remind you, there are different educationists. So their names I will be telling. Just understand their names and write down in your notebooks. Now I am introducing a person, Rousseau. He is actually a great educationist. In the next sessions, we will be discussing about his name once more. So he told plants are developed by cultivation and men by education. So here comes the importance of education, like the person's development is happening through proper education. As the plants are growing, the human beings are grown up with the education. So this is according to Rousseau, his saying. Okay. So we can say that education makes us cultured and pure. There is no need of explanation. It nourishes us like a mother. So how a mother feeds the baby, same manner education nourishes the children or the adults. So anybody. Education is a lifelong process. So we can not say that it's for children, it's for adults also. It directs us like a father. So it guides like a teacher. So this is the importance of education and some important functions of education. So next we can see what is the meaning of education. So what I am discussing now is the etymological meaning. Etymological meaning, that means from which this education, this word has arisen. So basically, the meaning of education, the education term is originated from different Latin words. Remember, these are the origin is from Latin words. 3-4 Latin words gives the meaning of education. So the first words are E and duco. That means E means external. So E stands for out of. And duco means I lead. So here E duco, I lead out of. So here the explanation is I lead out of darkness into the light. Who is this I? I is the teacher. Educare, to bring up, to train or to nourish. So educare, this is also another Latin word which gives the meaning for education, that is to bring up, to train or to nourish. In the previous slide already we have seen education is nourishing the human being. So educare is training or nourishing. The next one is educatum, that is the act of teaching. Educatum, it is nothing but the act of teaching. And educare, that is to lead out or to draw out. So these are some of the Latin words and its meaning from which this term education has arisen. So ഈ ഒരു 4 വേർഡ് നോക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് കുറച്ച് ഡിഫറൻസസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യാം. അതായത് മീനിങ്. I lead out of darkness into the light. So here, who is leading? Who is the important person? The teacher is the important person. The teacher is leading the students to light. Educare, to bring up, to train, to nourish. Here, who is the responsible person to nourish? Teacher. If the teacher is not providing proper nutrients, the child is not developing. So here also importance is given to the teacher. Educatum, the act of teaching. Here also the teacher is teaching. So in the first 3 meanings, importance is given to the teacher, and in educate, to lead out or draw out, drawing out of maximum inner power or the capacities. Here the role of student is given importance. So that is the differences in the meanings of these 4 words. Already it is Latin words, but there are differences between these each terms. So nowadays we are giving importance to the student-centered teaching. That means the student is kept in the center of educational setting, and here we are providing more importance to the student. So this educo, educare and educatum, these are the olden concepts which give importance to the teacher. And the last one, that is educare, that is to lead out or to draw out. This is a modern concept which we accept as important in nowadays, and we are giving more importance to the last meaning, because in this the student is kept in the center of the teaching learning process. So this is about the meaning of education and the explanation of the Latin words and its meaning. So generally we can say that education, it is the act of drawing out, act of extracting out the maximum potentialities of the student, and he is becoming a great person. Act of leading forward, we are trying to make the child to lead forward, or we are making the child to lead out, acting, act of teaching and act of training. So these are some of the meanings of this education. So we can say that education is the process of providing desirable knowledge and experience to the child so as to develop his inner powers to the maximum possible extent. So through education, what we are providing is a good knowledge, good experience to the student, so that he has his own inner power that will be coming out with the maximum possible extent. So നമ്മൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാണോ കൊടുക്കുന്നത് അത് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് കുട്ടി അവരുടെ കപ്പാസിറ്റി കൂടുതലായിട്ട് യൂസ് ആക്കി പുറത്തേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നതിനെയാണ് എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സോ വി ഹാവ് ടു ഗിവ് നോളേജ്, ടു ഗിവ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്, but the student will be coming out with the maximum of his possibility. So this is about the meaning of education. So I'm breaking now. We'll continue in the next video.